Hello, what is up? Welcome to the Creative Time Chamber Show. This is the 5-minute show helping you grow from shy creative to confident creative. And before we get into today's topic, I gotta shout out the friend Shane for commenting on the show. He definitely lit a fire under me, and I definitely welcome constructive critique on the show because I want to make sure you're getting the best possible value delivered in my own unique way. And for me personally, this is really the heart of why I'm doing these episodes, as it's a way to document my progress in public and to be able to turn failure into lessons while sharing what I know as I grow. So I thought the topic of energy would be a useful one to explore today, because the method of communicating using your voice couldn't be more imperative than the times we're currently in. We're all pretty much on video calls now, voice only calls, and I know sometimes, and for me, maybe every time, you dread the idea of being on a call. But the one key to all of this is bringing in something you're excited about. Being excited plays a lot into the kind of energy you exude when you're on these video calls or client calls. Even just talking through this, I'm realizing the areas where I do get excited. So I'll bring in a real example that I experienced just this week. So at my day job, where we have creative check-ins, typically these conversations involve things like deadlines, deliverables, which are relatively serious in tone because they address more pressing topics. But when the conversation shifted to what the campaign looks like, what are my thoughts on these assets, I noticed I suddenly lifted up myself in my seat, my shoulders stopped slouching, looked into the camera instead of talking down at the table, and I used more words, which after the fact makes sense. I'm a graphic designer, and visual communication, aesthetically pleasing things, is what I love to see and talk about the most. In saying that, I do think, however, the more serious, high-level conversations are important to your growth as a creative, but these things will take time and practice. I still struggle, and probably will still struggle, with having something exciting to say every time. However, if you first have the awareness to say, maybe I was lacking here and I could do better next time, it's a good step to take. Alternatively, ask someone how your audio feels or how your presentation feels as the listener or viewer. Thankfully, I have friends like Shane who willingly gave me points to improve, and hopefully the difference can be heard in this episode. So once again, thanks Shane. Another nugget I picked up this month happened on a Zoom call with Brian, aka the BKH, who's really London's go-to guy for all things social. And the call touched on a lot on the importance of speaking, writing, and generally getting used to putting yourself out there, especially using voice. I'm also preaching to myself by saying all of this, so rather than think about the platforms you should be using, it's about the content format and the content type. So my advice is to get used to speaking, talking to myself, and posting, because audio is taking off. And Brian is a great example in that through his content and through the way he speaks, the energy is consistent and engaging. The importance of voice is also evident from the explosion of audio shows, podcasts, video podcasts now compared to when I first started to listen to podcasts, maybe in the early mid 2010s. Back then, audio was maybe underrated as a form of learning, but I know creators who have been putting in work and jumped in early into the audio game and are still going strong, so that's incredible. There are also companies such as Spotify who recently acquired podcast technology and strengthening their investment in audio, which is also interesting to see where the future of audio is heading. So I hope you took away one thing from this episode. This was part freestyle, semi-prepared kind of episode, and hopefully the energy was a lot more vibrant this time. And I'm going to try and maintain a good level that feels natural. So the one question for you today is, in your creative field, what is the one thing that's going to get you excited the most? For now, I hope you take it easy. This is the Creative Time Chamber Show, where you enter shy and leave a more confident creative.